What is up, party people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Cup Chasers Daily World Cup edition with my man Asif. How you feeling?
Tired. It was a long day yesterday.
Yes,
the Brazil
yeah.
match, Morocco, Scotland, Turkey.
Did you watch them all? Did you get to watch? Did you watch everything yesterday?
I did. That's why I'm looking a bit tired.
Hell yeah. Well, make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, of course, every single time. Make sure you get that notification bell on. The 3 facts shorts are up and running. I'm feeling the love on those, so make sure you're locked in, of course, every single time. People, I certainly appreciate it. The only place to start, the USA have won Group D. The fixtures, I should say the result for Turkey last night went in the US's favor, meaning that the US, for the first time since 1930, we've won the first 2 games in the tournament. What's up, Lewin? Big up every single time. Hope you're well. Yeah, and that first tournament, what everyone's saying, everyone's repeating that statement about, we've won back-to-back games for the first time since 1930, and they're not saying that tournament was different, that those were single elimination games, and it wasn't a group stage, so it's a little bit different. This is the first time we've actually ever, in this format,
in the
modern day, done this well. Yes, Lumen, absolutely. We'll be getting to the Almiron red card a little bit later on, of course, with the new rule coming into effect. But the U.S., man, these early goals, we're doing it with these early goals, man.
I think Pochettino's like, I've seen how he's got you guys playing with pace, with the interchanging of positions, especially with like home advantage as well. It's really suiting you guys. So yeah, no, I think you've done well. I do think, and no offense, but I think when you get to a more quality opponent, you're leaving gaps.
Oh yeah, we're definitely leaving gaps.
Yeah, and I think someone with a bit more quality would punish those gaps. So when I saw you guys when you're going forward, brilliant going forward, but like I say, Australia didn't have the quality to take advantage of those gaps. But I think with someone like with a more accomplished team, that might be an issue going forward. But no, great, well done to the US. I think done really well. To this far favourable group, but you can only beat what's in front of you. So that's what they've done. Hopefully they can get a bit of rotation now that they've got everything sewn up. They can get a bit of rotation into the next game. So a bit of freshness. So for the next game you're roading. I wouldn't do everything. Like some people do this mistake I've seen in World Cups where they change the entire team. And I don't think you should do that as well, because sometimes it's you need that bit of match sharpness as well. So I'd get a couple of players in and then rotate them out during the match, etc. And that would be my
Yeah, well said. I actually agree with every single thing you've just said. I think that in the next match, there's a balance, right? You have to keep the momentum that we've built. You have to keep the minutes in some of the legs. You have to make sure the main core of the team is still feeling that momentum and there's not like too much of a break. But that being said, it's a dead rubber. We've won the group. We can't lose the group, and Turkey are out. So you also have to, you don't want to get injuries. You want to manage minutes. And so that's where Poch is going to earn his money in this particular instance.
I think Balogun would be one of the ones that, especially with his injury concern from like before this match, he'd probably be the first one if I'd be resting. But that's just maybe getting him off the bench.
This is exactly what it looks like, doesn't it, Lumen? Where it's kind of a Klopp style, but then he's backing off of it in the second half, because that's exactly what it looked like. And you have to credit Australia, because in the beginning I was very shocked. I was very surprised by the fact that their goal scorer from the last game, Irakunda, didn't start. Metcalf didn't start, the guys that were instrumental to their victory over Turkiye, and the game plan was the same. That's why I was very confused. And in addition to that, those guys came on at halftime and changed the game completely. So it seems like a mistake from the Australian coach to try to do the same strategy with the sit back and counter, but with guys who aren't as good at it as what was shown in the first game. Because when Iracunda come on, yes, okay, we were up 2-0, and the U.S. did kind of sit back a little bit, as Lumen has mentioned here, trying to apply the Arteta ball. My mom was texting me, of course. My buddy Brian was texting me, and he's like, "Wow, it was kind of nervy there," and I was like, "I'm used to it. That's what Arsenal does. I'm used to it." Oh my god!
I'm gonna say, Jake, I'm sure you'd be used.
Yeah, I
that past season.
I wasn't phased at all. Brian was texting me. He's like, "Man, we need to see this out. This is getting," and I was like, "Yeah, we will. We're defending well. I'm used to this. No problem." I thought that was hilarious. The comparisons that that second half for the U.S. were getting with the Arsenal team. I think that we defended well. I think that after a spell, when we realized, after like the first 10 minutes of the second half, that Australia were going to push, Australia were coming at us, definitely had a lot more energy. I think we accepted that was how the game state was going to be for the rest of the game, and just sat in and defended it. I thought we defended well, to be honest with you. And because I've said it on the pod a million times, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite way to play. Of course, you got to give Arteta credit for using this and getting it over the line. But is that kind of style going to work? Especially when, as you said in the beginning, we come up against somebody who defends a lot better, and our opening salvo does not produce a goal. And they weather whoever it is weathers the storm for the first 10 minutes of our energy and are coming forward and are getting the home crowd on side. But what happens when we play somebody who nullifies all that, and we're 35 minutes in, and the crowd, and it's still 0-0, and the crowd gets a little nervy? We have yet to face that. And so obviously we're looking at the permutations, and we're looking at who we might play in the next round. Having won the group based on my bracket, actually, because, and this isn't going to happen because Canada did not finish third, will not finish third in their group, which is what I had them. That's who US would have played in the round of 32. But it'll be way different than my bracket. As it sits currently, we're playing Czechia. But of course, there's a third game to play. Czechia still have points to play for. They may improve their position in the group, and so it'll all change. But beyond that, if Belgium pick it up and Spain pick it up, those might be our next opponents in the round of 16, supposing, of course, we do win. And teams like that will be able to weather that first storm. And then it's going to be, and then, Poch is going to have to figure something out. He's going to have to earn his money as to how we would proceed from there. But yeah, I'm loving all the people getting excited, getting all the non-soccer fans who have, obviously are watching the World Cup, who are getting giddy after we've won 2 games. And talk about the first thing on ESPN says, "It's finally time to believe that the U.S. can win the World Cup." I'm like, guys. I like to get as giddy as the rest of them. I'm an Arsenal fan. You already know. I like to drink the Kool-Aid as much as the next guy, but let's pump the brakes.
Jake, I hear this. I hear this as an English supporter. We have this every World Cup. It's coming up. And then I don't drink that Kool-Aid anymore. So
even big up the Kool-Aid man out there, everybody.
Yeah, like I say, we had a great performance against Croatia, for example, but I'm not getting carried away. I know if we run into someone, say even though Portugal had a bit, I'm sure they're going to be switching things around in the next match. Or if we get someone like,
I do have you in my bracket. England does play Portugal in my bracket.
Yeah. It could be some various permutations there. And we're gonna be and even if we get past them, it's gonna be like either Spain or France.
Oh yeah.
Side. And I don't fancy our chances against the Spanish or the French. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I absolutely expect Spain to get their head out of their ass and be
exactly.
a force.
I think they took it a bit. Yeah, they took it a bit lightly, and they're always slow starters, like I mentioned. So previously with the 2010 World Cup with the Euros, notoriously slow starters. But then I can see them coming in blitzing in the next game, and I could see Yamal and Williams coming off that bench. I mean, not even
they're playing Saudi, so there's definitely an opportunity there. They're playing Saudi
that much now. They're not messing around now. They're going to be starting.
Absolutely. What's up, SC? Thank you. We have won Group D. It is a great feeling. Of course, we get to put our feet up and watch the rest of the group stage with a cigar in hand. Of course, still lots of work to do for the U.S., but big up Alex Freeman, who I don't know if you're familiar with his story of how he rose to the team, but we had a ton of injuries last summer, and like half of the people who are starting weren't even at the Gold Cup last summer, or was it the Copa America, whichever one it was. And Alex Freeman got the call up. He's played in every game since then for like a year and a half. And this is the kid who scored. He's on the thumbnail. This is the guy who scored the second goal. And then we had to wait for the VAR to do the check and everything. And then they ran off to the corner flag. Yeah.
That's the whole point, Jake. You guys were building for the World Cup, so even when you had those injuries, you needed the squad. Like we do sometimes with the England team, we don't play our first team all the time. So when we have the other kids coming through, we can see, okay, yeah, this person is the sort of kind we can have in the squad around rotation, etc. Like 2 years ago, people would have even heard of Morgan Rogers, for example.
Yeah, Miles Lewis Skelly damn near broke through in the England team as well. He had a little spell, so that that could have been something.
But I think, it's all about balance. I think you guys have got a good balance so far, attacking wise, anyway. Like I say, I want to see you guys against a bit more, a higher level of competition. In the next round, I want to see how you guys fare, as you say, against someone with a bit more quality, someone who's happy to sit back and then hit you on the counter, for example, after those 15 minutes, 20 minutes of you guys piling on the pressure, and see how that works when the crowd's not as in the game. And then that's when the team starts showing its mettle, basically. So whether you sink or swim. So
also, one thing we have not faced, at least Poch has not faced in this tournament. No offense to Australian manager, no offense to the Paraguay manager, but we haven't faced a manager who's figured us out and given us something we haven't seen, and then Poch has to adjust. We haven't seen that yet either, so that's definitely something to watch out for.
Against a European team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it won't count versus Turkey, but because they're out. But yeah, I hear you. Especially somebody like Czechia, somebody like who they're going to defend resolutely. They're going to be just as athletic, bigger than us. In some cases, a team like that where they're just going to be they'll shrug off our first little burst of energy. They'll shrug that off and be like, all right, what else you got? And then what are we going to do?
If you played the Czechs, I think you would get through based on how they folded under pressure against the South Africans, who had like a couple of suspensions.
That was wild. Yeah.
I think a good matchup for you European wise would be Scotland.
I think we could beat Scotland based on what we've seen. Yeah.
I think the Scots, we haven't seen the best of them yet. I think they're still, I think.
Hey, that's great. Segues are weird.
Yeah.
Go ahead. That's a great segue. Go ahead.
With the Scottish game, they were happy. You could see they were happy with that. Okay, they were fine. They were trying to get forward, but they weren't leaving gaps. They weren't attacking so much. Once he got to the business end, they were thinking, as long as we don't let these guys score on us too much, we can still get through on the third.
Which is weird because they're playing Brazil.
Exactly, but because they've got the 3 points and they've kept the score down against Morocco, if they can keep the score down against Brazil as well, they're through, and that's the way they were thinking. So that was his game plan. You could see from the formation he played, he wasn't going for it at all. He was like, "I know I'm going to sit back. If they score, and then I'm gonna try to hit him in the counter. If not, it doesn't matter." I think he knew the quality difference between them and the Moroccan team, and the Moroccan team were happy with possession. If you looked at that, if you saw the game, they were happy with the possession, just thinking the ball around. If they got any opportunities, any holes, fine. If not, you could see from the they took the foot off the pedal basically in the second half. They were just happy to soak up that pressure, and that defense was pretty good. The Moroccan defense, they impressed me. They had anything that the Scottish did, they were soaking up that pressure. Like they were basically hitting 20-30 yard shots by the end of it. So
yeah. What's up, Ollie? Thanks for being here every time, of course. Think Scotland are out now. They need a minimum draw versus Morocco. It's gonna be. I think it'll be tough for them on goal difference. It'll be tough on goal difference.
It'll be third place. I think there's gonna be third place. Scotland they're not stupid. With Morocco and Brazil in that group, they're aiming for third place. This is why they kept the.
Yeah.
If they got beaten like 3-4-0, that in the aggregate best third place teams, that would have hit them. But because they got it down to 1-0. They've done fine. I think they should go through as one of the best runners up, as long as they don't get absolute hiding from Brazil.
Smashed.
Which I don't think that.
Yeah, I hear that, and you could kind of tell that was on their mind because they didn't really push on until like the last 10 minutes. Like, my mom was watching it. She was texting me, and she was like, "Why did Scotland wait so long to put the pressure on and try to go for the win? Like, if you're gonna go for the win, maybe try it to get that pressure on 10 minutes earlier and have a little bit more, opportunity to try to maybe equalize." Because like you say, when Morocco realized, maybe at halftime or 10 minutes into the second half that they weren't really going to pile on the pressure and they seemed to be content with what they were, Morocco kind of stopped attacking as well, kind of set up shop and just said, "All right, you're not going to break us down. Do what you got to do, and we'll just weather the storm." And I thought they did that very well. Morocco, man, they're tough. They're a tough side, dude. Keep an eye on them because they're gonna do some damage. They might take a couple scalps, just like they did back in Qatar. I think you guys are right. 4 points or 3 points with decent goal difference should be enough for the third place finish to go through. Yeah, I agree with that, 100%. I mean, yeah, it was interesting that the instant goal, like the immediate, was like 60 seconds into the game. I thought that it kind of didn't change anything, really. Scotland still kind of tried to do the same thing. Morocco were like, okay, well, we can still.
They expected it. You could see, Jake. It was basically a bit of a non-starter, that game, in regards to you got the goal and then Morocco pushed on in the first half, trying to get the second. After that, they were like, no. Second half, they were just like, okay, yeah. They were just, yeah. You could tell just by the changes that they were making later on as well. They were like, okay, now.
Yeah. So, absolutely.
But it is what it is. I think Scotland were, yeah, I think they understand where they are in the pyramid.
Yeah.
Of things, and they're thinking it's a good, successful tournament for us if we get through to the next round.
Yeah, I hear that. They do have a tough one against Brazil, but of course we will know all of the permutations. They'll know what they have to do, what has to happen for them to get through by the time those games come back around. Ali says Scotland had chances. Morocco dominated. Yeah, they did. just like Morocco dominated the ball in the first game, you know. And I mean,
they snuffed them out. That defense snuffed them out. Scotland didn't really have that many clear-cut chances. Let's be honest. So,
yeah, definitely agree with that. Big up Saibari again for getting a second goal in the World Cup. He's feeling it, loving life. Hell of a finish, by the way. A minute into the game, so definitely he was ready to play.
Yesterday. Just a thing about Saibari. Apparently, he was approached to actually be by the Belgians, but he actually he was eligible for them, but he did not.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but he says no. I wanted to. He was raised in Belgium, so which is why he was eligible for them, but he said no, and he wanted to represent.
Didn't he already get a contract? Didn't he already get like Bayern? Bayern already signed him, or
Bayern's
was it
already
Madrid?
got the contract. Yeah, no, I mean like
somebody's already signed him. No, I know. I'm just saying like one goal in the cup, I put it in the and he's already got his.
Siberia's already been signed up. They're not messing around.
Not at all. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Good for him.
They've signed him up as well. They're not messing around. They're getting their
Oh no, they're ready. Any starlets and Bayern's just already knocking on the door. You do anything in the World Cup.
We got Victor Munoz, by the way, guys, for Liverpool. Newcastle was sniffing around.
Oh man, the sporting directors are loving life right now watching the World Cup. That's for sure. And speaking of directors, speaking of sporting, Brazil finally pull out a performance, but still, you know, this was still a very interesting performance from Brazil to me. And has Ancelotti become a sit and counter manager? Why did
no?
You know, because that's what they were doing versus Haiti. They're just letting Haiti have the ball and then just one over the top for Vinny or one round the corner for Cunha. And it was devastating.
No, I think he's not showing his hand yet, Jake. I'm not going to lie to you. That's what I think he's doing. Also, Osana. He used to be a Real Madrid player. He played in the Barcelona academy as well. Yeah, I know who he is.
So one Liverpool fan knows who he is.
But yeah, like I say, I think he's he's not going to show his hand just yet, Jake. I think he's waiting to. It's like when you're playing poker, as you know that thing. You don't show your hand, especially in the group stages. I think he's waiting. He's gonna. Yeah, I think hopefully he then Casemiro or because that young kid I keep banging on about him. He came close yesterday. He had the one flat offside.
Indrik, yeah.
He's another one that I know back in Brazil, they're all clamoring him for him to start. And he's one for the future for Brazil.
Well, he might start. Yeah. He might start the next game because Rafinha went down.
Well, Ryan was the like-for-like replacement, so for Bournemouth. So who knows what the thing is going to be about that. Maybe he might start. Who knows? But I think he'll at least get some more minutes now. That but maybe Neymar might get a substitute appearance for the next game. So to get him a couple of minutes before the next. Before the knockout stages, we'll see. I think they will, but because it's because they still need to win that next game. Even though, so we're against Scotland. I think
if they're going to win the group, Brazil, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think Brazil done well. Can't fault them. They did what they had to do. Basically, Haiti were never really. Let's be honest. There was a bit of a moment where your man Gabriel had a bit of a shake at the back, but apart from that, there wasn't much going for them. Let's be honest. They had chances. I can see if you saw the counters, Haiti had a couple of chances where they could have, and a much better team would have scored against them.
Yeah, I
They were
agree with
leaving
that.
gaps. They were
I agree
leaving
with
gaps.
that.
It was just that Haiti didn't have the quality to take advantage. But yeah, you can if they meet some. Yeah, I personally, when against Morocco, for example, when I saw Casemiro getting subbed off for Fabinho, I thought they were defensively a lot more solid when Fabinho was there.
Yeah.
But
it'll be interesting for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward, especially. And this is one of those games where you remember what I was saying before the game. I was like, Ancelotti, what have you done? You've started Paquetá, who had an absolute shocker in the first game, and you blamed Thiago for the poor performance, and so you switch him with Cunha, and it paid off. Like it on the surface level analysis is, oh, Ancelotti's a genius. He has made the tweak, and Cunha's come on, got 2 goals, made the difference, all this stuff. But when you dig a little deeper, Paquetá, the guy who I was talking mad, you know what about, he actually played well. He was getting on the ball. And again, it was one of those games where he didn't necessarily need to be at the top level. And I think that's what you're saying is Ancelotti knew that. He knew that they don't necessarily need to be at their sterling best. And so he gave Paquetá another chance, and he definitely played a lot better. He was really the one that was putting the balls in behind, especially on Vinny's goal. Like, he was the only one that even saw the run. Even Vinny didn't see the run. He's like, oh, I'm behind the line already. I'll just speed my way to the end here. And he got the goal. But I think that I still stick with what I was saying. I think that they would be better served with Cunha in that spot and to have Thiago up front, or maybe some sort of, different way. Because Vinny did move into the center at one point, and so they have options up front as to who might run down the middle. Especially with Rafinha being injured. Hopefully he's not, it's not a long term and speedy recovery and all that, but it will possibly mean that Brazil's front line will look a bit different in the next game. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. He doesn't necessarily want to bring out the Avengers and play the full force team with the full force tactics against Haiti. As Ali says, at the end of the day, it was only Haiti. Scotland will be a better indicator if the changes are working. And that is spot on, in my opinion. But yeah, I was a little upset with that second half because I just needed them to score. I had Brazil to win both halves. How is that not a good bet at the beginning of the game? You're like, yeah, of course they're going to score a goal in both halves. And then they went back to what they did in the first game in the second half, and they're just like, here, you guys have the ball. You're never going to score on us, and we'll devastate you on the counter. And it just didn't work out. Make sure you're gambling responsibly out there, people, every single time, of course. But yeah, man, I think that Brazil are going to be just fine.
I just remember one part when he just shot to Ronaldo and Ronaldinho in the crowd. It was like, well, it'd be nice to have those two on the pitch. I was like, if they had those two on the pitch, I'd tip them to go a lot further than.
Kaká was sitting next to him. Did you see that? Kaká with those glasses, he was sitting next to him. It took me a second. I was like, who is it? Oh, okay. I didn't know he wore glasses. That's why I was like, wait a second, So if they had those guys on it's locked, So, but I think Brazil are going to be just fine. Yeah, man. And it'll be interesting to see their approach versus Scotland. And of course, as we know, we'll have to see what Scotland will need to do in that game. I mean, if they can scrape a draw versus Brazil, I think they'll definitely be through. And like you say, they're going to need to kind of keep the goal difference down, I think, to get through as one of the best third place teams. But we shall certainly see about that. Brazil looking good so far. Or at least looking better than they did in the first game. And it's up in the air, Morocco or Brazil to win that group. Scotland could easily get a point against Brazil. I mean, it's there to be had, especially once you saw how they played against Morocco. So I'm not counting the Scots out just yet. And the last game from yesterday was a very, very interesting one. Turkiye, I should say, crashing out after just 2 attempts in the tournament. I did not expect this. This game did not go how I expected at all. Right out the rip. I mean, Paraguay definitely came out with intensity, and how were they not ready for it? How were Turkey not ready for the intensity? Because you're literally in a better place than Paraguay were to start the game. Paraguay got smashed. 61 shots at goal in their 2 games. Well, yeah. Tell me about their finishing, Lumen. If you have 61 shots and you ain't scored a goal.
It's the thing with that, Jake. I think people were tipping them when, people were tipping them as tournament dark horses, etc., etc. I personally, as you mentioned, I did not have a killer in the box, first of all. You go back into the days when they did well in the World Cup when Hakan Suka was there. Why? Because they had a finisher. You can have all the creative players in the world. You've got Gula, for example. You've got these players, but if you've got no one finishing them,
this is it right here. They're young.
Exactly. Young, they're not polished yet, and like I say, they need a striker. Basically, there's a lack of young Turkish strikers coming through at the moment. I haven't heard any. Maybe someone will appear. Hopefully, do. But in the meantime, Turkey have been disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah. I mean, Kenan Yildiz got his chance to start on the left, and he's been impressing in Serie A. He was terrible, man. He was awful.
He wasn't. I don't think he was even fully fit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched him play in Serie A. I think he's a decent player. He's a good player. I don't think he was fully fit. I really don't.
Yeah. And I mean, yes, Ali, we'll go back to this comment here. Did anyone know about the covering the mouth for Almiron? I absolutely knew that was a rule. We spoke on it. Yeah, we spoke on it a little bit in before the tournament started in that show when we talked about the rule changes, but it was one of many, and obviously it goes back to the Vinny and the what's his face from Benfica incident in the Champions League, and that's why this rule was new. And yeah, all the teams were briefed, all the teams knew about it, and I mean, what it honestly looked like from Almiron was he's used to doing that. They're used to doing that in moments where there's a stoppage in play and he's going to talk to somebody else, because for so long, if you didn't do that and some asshole paparazzi guy caught you saying something or whatever, and see, that is the, what's up, Mom? Good morning. Yeah, that's the gist of the whole. It's the point behind the rule is that most of the time when a player did this and started saying something, it was something he didn't want anybody to know he was saying, right? And that's the whole point behind it. And yeah, they definitely said before the tournament, like, if you do that at all, it doesn't matter if you said, I hope you have the best life ever, or if you're like, I love you behind your hand, you're getting a red card. It doesn't matter if you were saying, oh, you're the greatest player that's ever been, I love you, can I have your jersey at the end of the game? Nope, red card. Like, he knew that was coming. Yeah, you can't.
I like that.
You can't.
Jake, if you like back in the day, you could say people were swearing at all the time, and you could actually bow read half the stuff that I used to say, and people are like, yeah, it is what it is. So
the difference for this one, Ali, is that you can say this, and if somebody catches you saying this on camera, nobody cares. That's the difference. If someone catches you saying, I love you, bro, you're doing a great job on camera, no one cares. It's exactly what you just said, Asif. It's when you say F you and F your mom and F your dad and I hope your family, all this crazy stuff. That's what they think you're saying when you put your hand over your mouth, because why else are you covering your mouth but to hide what you're saying to someone? Exactly. I don't think it was harsh, Lemon. I don't think it was harsh at all. I just think it's letter of the law. Like, why are you going to – the referee has no choice. It's not on the referee. He has zero choices. It's a new rule. It's in the book. The referee of all people has to follow the rules.
Exactly. He doesn't make the rules. He has to enforce them, though. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I thought from that point on, man, I thought second half, Turkey know what they got to do. They can't lose this game. I thought they were going to batter the door down, man. I thought they were – and yeah, they reined in shots, but it was mostly shots from outside the box. It wasn't like I can't even remember like a clear-cut chance where
Jake,
they should have scored.
I have a question, actually. Now that Sweden are playing today, out of curiosity, when Gyökeres does his celebration.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't think about that, man.
I'm just saying, it just came to me. I just like, he's
got to be careful. Yeah, you better not say anything. Yeah, he can't be saying nothing. You better make sure your mouth is not moving.
Yeah, if he's
I didn't even think about that. Oh, man. I didn't even think about that. He already did that celebration in the first game after one of his goals. Yeah. He's got to look out for that, of course, man. But yeah, I definitely thought Turkey were gonna pull it out. I mean, how could you not? But you got to give credit to the Paraguayans, man. Sat back, defended, did everything they needed to do to get this one over the line. Were resolute with 10 men, yeah. And so what that means is, yes, the USA have won the group, but now the Paraguay-Australia game is a straight playoff. Straight up playoff for second place in the groups. SC says Scotland could go through with -4 goal difference. I don't know about that. The goal difference is going to be a thing, not referring to the record as the other ones after Mane foul. I'm happy not give the referees must have been told to prove. I can agree with that. Yeah, there's been some like Messi, maybe, possibly. Some people say a Messi could have had a stamp. So, yeah, I think that obviously the referees are going to have, their decisions reviewed and they're going to try to improve. But like I say, like on this one, what can he do? It's the ref can't do anything. That's the rule, And I thought the ref in that game did very well because Turkey and Paraguay started out like a house on fire. Both teams were going at each other. There were fouls immediately, a goal immediately. It was chaos right from the rip. And I thought the ref really did well to control the game. At first I was like, okay, this guy's got main character syndrome. But then when you looked at how the game was going, and it's like, wow, this is feisty. This is really spicy. And I thought the referee did very, very well to control the game overall.
No, he had to put his marker down early, Jake. So if not, you set a precedence for the rest of the game. So
absolutely. And it does set up a very, very tasty into the group for the Aussies and the Paraguayans, a head-to-head matchup to see who will go through in second place. Absolutely going to be a fun one, especially with two teams who are not necessarily as comfortable on the ball, more comfortable without possession. Who's going to dominate the ball in that game? Who's going to be the one trying to force their will upon the other? To be very, very interesting. Thoughts on the ref with the most aggressive review when gave Almiron the red card. Oh yeah. That was hilarious. Even my wife Lauren was saying that was the funniest thing ever. Did you what Ollie's talking about is when he came back on the field to like tell the crowd what was going on. It was so aggressive. He was like angry. He was like, the Paraguay number 10 has said and put his hand over his mouth. My decision is red card. Like he was screaming. I was like, whoa. Yeah. Oh, that was crazy.
Out of curiosity,
legit,
did you watch the Brazil match on Telemundo?
no, no, no. The only one I watched on Telemundo was Turkey. Yeah. Why was
I was
it?
gonna say
Was it?
there was a couple of goals in that game. Which is
Oh
why,
yeah. I think some of the commentators on Telemundo are having like a competition amongst themselves. It's unofficial, but who's going to be able to do the longest goal?
I show Speed a clip, and he was with this Telemundo female presenter, and they were both trying to say goal, and she beat him like by far. and I'd advise to watch that clip.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I'll go watch that. That's so funny. But yeah, man, I'm really enjoying the Telemundo broadcasts. Of course, been a lot of fun. And we got plenty more fun coming at us today. Another slate, 4 more games. And it's a big one in Houston, 1:00 p.m. here, my time. Netherlands versus Sweden. I think there's some, and if you look at the lines right now, the bookies are heavily favoring the Dutch, and I do not agree.
I do not agree either. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Boom, SC, Sweden 2-1.
I'm saying Sweden I think, I'm not saying they're not going to get scored on, but I think they are heavily, they're not taking Sweden's, like I said, you better watch that.
Yeah, you better not let your face move underneath that Bane mask. You better not be doing any of this, because if you're doing some of this, you're probably getting sent off.
But I think Sweden are, I wouldn't be surprised if Sweden actually win that game. And I'm not gonna lie to you. That's one game where I think I know the Dutch are, but no, I think for my facts that all those lines are wrong. I'm gonna I might take advantage actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if they stay that long. I'm actually pulling it up now to see what it currently is, but if last I looked, it was like 380. It was like plus 380 for Sweden to win. I was like, is that for real? Let me look right now. Yeah, let me go back here. And yeah, it's still plus 360. That's insane value. That is insane value. I wonder what the double chance is for Sweden.
The double chance is a bit over 11 to 10.
Oh, I'm taking that action. I might take that action all day long. I mean, Sweden looked really, really good. Obviously, yes, it was Tunisia, but Netherlands also looked susceptible because, and that was one thing I really enjoyed about Japan was you could tell, like, when they flip the switch, they bring it, and Netherlands couldn't handle it. Lumen, my man Brian Brobby is going to be the next Ruud van Nistelrooy. Just look out. Wait for him to come in. Wait for him to get his chance. He only got to play 8 minutes versus Japan. He's the answer. Trust me, he is the answer. On managers hiring ventriloquists to train the players. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, Kalshi might have a bet. You might be able to get this on Poly Market, Ali. That'd be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I think the Dutch are going to struggle. Obviously, they did get 2 goals versus Japan, but Sweden are a completely different team than Japan. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think the easiest one really is both teams are going to score in this game. For sure, both teams will score. Gyökeres, of course, Isak, Anthony Elanga, they've, Ayari kind of put himself to the front, to the fore in that game where they smashed Tunisia, of course. It'll be a different prospect for them as well. Of course, Netherlands are far superior to Tunisia, at least in my opinion. And so this game is going to be a lot of fun. But Sweden can clinch the group. Yeah, Isak and Gyökeres. I mean, yeah, it was a great combo. They both had a goal and an assist. I think Isak actually had 2 goals and an assist. So yeah, they're gonna give Van Dijk a lot of trouble today. You think Van Disney's gonna be able to handle it?
The good thing about Van Dijk is you got to look at it this way: the guy plays in training with Isak all the time. Against Gyökeres, he's come up against him for Liverpool
Twice
as well. So it's not like he's clueless. So he knows what to expect more or less. So
and he knows what Somerville's got too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows what Somerville's got as well. I
want him to sign for any. Man United. You go get him. I think that's going to be an interesting game. I think I do think that I'm just like looking at the line for both teams to score. Actually, that's a very interesting one. Actually,
I think that's nailed on. I think it's nailed on. Absolutely is. Yeah, gonna be a fun one. That's probably definitely that's the early game today. You don't want to miss it. That's gonna be a lot of fun. In the next one, I'm also very, very intrigued to see, of course, Yan Diomande again take the field. Amad Diallo was the hero for Ivory Coast in the last game. I'm very interested to see Germany against, no offense, Curacao. I don't want to, be mean or anything, but, a real team that's really going to give them issues. Germany were, cruising. They were just in cruise control in the first game. Obviously, the goal from Curacao woke them up. And I don't think they will approach this game in the beginning of it as lackadaisically as they did. And so this is going to be a fun game. And I think that, everyone's saying, oh, Germany are this powerhouse, this juggernaut, this absolute machine, etc. I think Ivory Coast are going to give them a run today. It's going to be I think this will be a fun game as well. What are your thoughts?
Ivory Coast, I think, they're not at the top of African football, but they're not bad either. I think they're going to close Germans. That's a step up in quality for the Germans. This is going to be a test of their credentials, whether they actually can get far or not. The Germans have a very interesting team. I think they seem to me as in transition. There's not many world class player apart from your boy Kai Havertz, obviously. Proven on a big stage, Jake. He's proven.
We were having a good show, Asif. This was a good show, and you had to bring that up.
Proven on the big stage. Proven on a big stage. The man loves a big occasion. You can't deny that, Jake. Let him get his customary goal before you sub him off at least. Anyway, but they have a very interesting team, young team. Moisala, they have Nathaniel Brown, who played really well. Hey, cut me back. The man is gone. I've told you. So it's like me saying bring back Emre for you guys. It's not gonna happen. But I think it's been beautiful. I think it's going to be interesting for the German team. I never count out the Germans in any tournament competition. I don't know what most people have been.
That's an interesting bet, SC. That's an interesting one. We'll have to look into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think both teams are going to score. That's the problem. Anyway, go on.
But I think, I think it's the game. I think I'm leaning more towards the Germans, just for the fact that they are who they are. They don't mess around, the Germans, as everyone knows. Tactically very disciplined. They've always been that way. I think they've got a new. I think they finally got rid of most of the old guard now, and they've got now they've got a crop of youngsters coming in now that they didn't have before. So I want to see the potential, not just for this tournament, for maybe one further down the line as well.
I think it'll be very interesting to see how Wirtz and Musiala get along versus this very, very quick Ivory Coast side in the middle of the park there. I think they're going to be very, very important. I wasn't necessarily too impressed with Wirtz in the first game, but I think this will be an opportunity to really show both of their quality.
I'm just thinking about tell you the truth. Just let me just check something while I'm here. Diamande might be coming head to head with Nathaniel Brown today, which is that's going to be they're both
spicy,
rapid. Yeah, they're both very fast, so that's going to be entertaining, I think. Since
I think Diamande is one of the players that people are most excited about in the tournament.
But apparently we bid for 100 million for him that got rejected.
Got rejected. Man, the market's crazy. The stuff I haven't really we haven't done any content on it. I've kind of had my eye on all the market stuff. The market's going nuts right now, dude. The market is crazy.
Yeah, and it's like even PSG who have a lot of money were like, no, we're not paying this.
That's nuts.
So yeah, I don't know.
And clubs are like, the clubs, the selling clubs are like, let's wait a little bit longer. Let's see if he gets another crazy performance in the World Cup, and we'll tuck another 15 mil onto the thing, and then maybe in the third game we'll tack another, and then so by the end of the tournament, Diamande is gonna ball out, and it's gonna be $150 million price tag.
Wouldn't surprise me the way this market's going.
Oh my god!
I think it's been really good tournament so far. I think they're going to cause the German problems, but let's see how the German defense handle it, because I think I've never seen. Yeah, I want to see this German side at the moment. They were in the Euros. They were tipped, but they didn't really live up to our expectations. So I want to see how they fare now in this World Cup. We'll see anything going forward. If they put in an impressive performance, people will be looking at them as dark horses, so to speak.
I actually have no idea, Ali. I would have to go check on this one to see about the lineups. Of course, make sure you are waiting for those lineups to put in any of your player props. Of course, you don't want to make that mistake. We've all done that, of course. So make sure you're waiting out for that one. I'm not too sure on that. We'll have to go check that one out. But that is a playoff for the first place spot in Group E. Of course, the other two teams are also facing off, and it is massive for Ecuador. Obviously tipped to beat Curacao, and they have to. It's do or die. I guess you can say Ecuador the same for Curacao, but yeah, I agree.
Ecuador should win that.
Absolutely, they should.
And then the one, the late one is Tunisia against Japan, isn't it? Yeah, I'm Japanese all the way for that one.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really Tunisia, I thought that they would give a little bit more, but they got absolutely wrecked by Sweden. And in my opinion, Japan are just as strong. The way Japan just flipped the switch and they got scored on versus the Dutch, and they're just like, all right, now it's our turn. And they turned it up, turned the pressure up and got their goal. I'm not sure Tunisia can handle that kind of pressure for a long period. If Japan decide to come out and start that game, with the impetus, with their, attacking force on display, it'll be tough. It'll be very tough. I don't really see anything but a Japanese win in that one either. Although, Tunisia are fighting for their life. Have to at least get a point just to stay in contention for the third place spot, and I just don't see it. I just don't see that one, man. So yeah, and in the Ecuador game, I just don't see it either. It's another thing for Curacao to come in and be on the World Cup stage, be on the biggest stage, represent their nation. And obviously they're going to want to keep the score down. I think they will keep the score down versus Ecuador. Ecuador not necessarily like the most prolific goal scorers. And so I think it'll just be another kind of like proud moment to represent your nation. And I think they'll keep the score down a little bit more in that game. But Ecuador, of course, as well have to win it. Football is going home, says Mr. Marmite. Thanks for being here. Of course, pick up the chat, everyone, every single time. We're not too sure on this one. I'm sure Asif might have something to say about that. But yeah, I think that it's going to be those second two games going to be interesting to see how Ecuador and Japan get on.
The French. I'm not going to lie, Jake. I really can't look past the French at the moment. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. You'd be dumb. You'd be dumb to look past them.
They just took the world. They just took the world Player of the Year off, and yeah, they had a Champions League winning. Let me get a Champions League doing it instead.
And the names that didn't even play in that France game, like the guys that didn't come off it's stupid, man. The likes of Marcus Thuram, like that's your worst player is Marcus Thuram.
This is what a lot of people have been saying. They could get their second team out and they can give anyone a game in the world. So, I mean,
I understand thinking that England are too good, but France are too good, man. Of course, but yeah,
if you look at England's bench, they're pretty good. But if you look at the French bench, that is ridiculous.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
it's dumb, man. It's just dumb.
Yeah,
and
I can't even compare the two. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm not saying Watkins is not a good player, but you got Doe or you got Barcola. That's not even a comparison to me. But
and when France decide to flip that switch, it's over for everybody. I don't care who you are. It's over for everyone. And I'm thinking Germany are probably going to flip that switch today and give Ivory Coast a really, really tough game. But for the Ivorians, as long as they don't get wrecked, they should feel like they should have no problem against Curacao in their third game. And therefore, they'll probably be, comfortable of progressing in this group. It's Ecuador that really have to win.
I don't think they'll get smashed.
No. I definitely think they'll come for it.
I don't think they'll be that far behind them in regards to the result.
Well, Mr. Marmite thinks that Germany are better than France, and so Germany should be comfortable versus Ivory Coast. I don't think it's going to be comfortable at all. I think it's going to be a tough game. Definitely a fun one to watch, of course, but I don't know about all this. Mr. Marmite.
Germany are better than France.
And Argentina are both better than France. I don't know. I don't know. We shall certainly see as the tournament progresses. But yeah, a lot of action today. Some do or die stuff for both Ecuador and Tunisia, but I definitely expect Japan to get that one over the line. I expect Ecuador to get it over the line. It's the other two games that are particularly spicy, of course. But yeah, I think we are going to wrap it up right there. It's certainly been a good show. It was certainly an amazing day in the World Cup yesterday, and I'm looking forward to another amazing day in the tournament as well today. So big up everyone in the chat every single time. Of course, thanks for your comments. Thanks for being here. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you are subscribing. Spain and Portugal are also better than France. Germany, England in the final. Lots coming in. Where is Nez these days? Nez is at the gym, I think, at these moments. But also, I think Nez is traveling. Nez went to the England-Croatia game down in Dallas, and so he's traveling back up to where he lives. Ali says, big up. SC has England 1, Germany 2 at 50-1. There's a long shot for you, absolutely. Of course, once again, and on that note right there, Mr. Marmite, I think we are going to... Okay,
Mr. Marmite, I'll let you get back to smoking.
Yes, we'll we're going to wrap it up right there. Of course, make sure you got the notification bell on. I'm feeling the love on the 3 facts shorts for each nation. Make sure you're checking those out as well. We got 3 more coming down the line for you today. So once again, thanks for being here, everybody, and we'll see us next time.